Dear followers of the Wereldmorgen, that is the world tomorrow in English, we have as guest in this podcast Ann Wright. We already talked to her like a year ago. She is a former military in the US and a former diplomat, and now a peace activist. She was active, of course, on a lot of issues. We talked to her in the past. Now, the occasion today that we talked to her on the 2nd of May, the ship Conscience was attacked. This was the boat for the Freedom Flotilla, something that was kept secret as far as we knew it. But apparently, it was not that secret. Two drones were fired at the ship. Luckily, I mean, maybe luckily, no one was wounded. But Anne, to me, for you as a military, my impression, I'm not a military, this was really premeditated and well planned in advance. And I think it's not a coincidence that they managed to damage the ship without hurting any other person. That they sort of felt we have to do it this way because otherwise it's going to get too much bad rep. Anne, what is you were waiting in Valletta, the capital of Malta, to board the ship among with others. What is your take, your analysis of what happened?
Well, the Israeli government is now attacking ships in European waters. So they're expanding their terrorist attacks not only on the people of Palestine, but now they're going after ships that are in European waters, which should give European countries a pause. We had sailed the ship Conscience to Malta to board 40 international participants from 22 countries, and we were going to sail again toward Gaza as a sign of citizen activism to stop the genocide in Gaza and the illegal naval blockade of Gaza, which we've been doing since 2008. We've sailed over 35 ships. Only five of them had ever gotten into Gaza, and that's in 2008. From 2009 onward, the Israeli military has brutally stopped all of the ships, including in 2010, stopping the Marvi Marmara and six other ships in that flotilla and killing 10 people on board the Marvi Marmara and wounding over 50. They beat up, taser the participants in all of the other ships over 2011, 13, 15, 16, 18. And this was our attempt during the genocide of Gaza, the Israeli genocide of Gaza, which the U.S. is completely complicit in, to sail another boat to say on behalf of the citizens of the world that are outraged about Israel doing this genocide and with the complicity of so many countries, and no one is doing anything to stop them. So our little mission was to at least show this citizen activism. But as you mentioned, it was confidential. We were trying to keep it quiet because we knew the Israelis would be after us. But you know, they have the extraordinary intelligence services and the ability to monitor electronic devices that Israel is so famous for. So they knew what we were doing, and they knew when the ship sailed from Tunisia that it was coming up to pick us up, and with the complicity of probably six or seven other countries, to include the United States, Greece, Malta, Italy, and Palau, and Israel. They first took the flag away from the ship the afternoon before they attacked it for no reason at all, except Palau is one of the little brothers of the United States. It receives over $3 billion a year from the United States and the
Yeah, it's
compact
one of those island
negotiations.
states for our viewers. It's one of those small island states in the Pacific.
That's correct. And so the afternoon before the attack, suddenly we got this message saying that Palau had taken the flag away, which means they take the certificate of registration away from the ship, and it no longer is able to move in international waters according to international treaties without a flag. So that was our first indication that things were amiss. That was on May Day, which was a national holiday in Malta. And our shipping agent that we'd been working with to transfer people from the shore of Malta out to international waters called us to say, we're getting some very, very strange messages from the government of Malta, questioning what we are doing, taking people out to a ship that no longer has a registration and other things. And we received a whole list of emails from various government ministers showing that the government of Malta knew exactly what was going on. They knew that well, later on in the evening, when Israel flew a Hercules C-130 aircraft from Israel, circled Malta for numerous hours, and then explosives were sent onto our ship. We think it was two drones. Our crew heard what they felt were drones, and it was very lucky that no one was severely injured. But the damage that was done to the ship is substantial. And the government of Malta has not been cooperative at all. They claim we are not cooperative, but they are the ones that are not cooperative in doing forensic investigation on exactly what happened. They have sent an inspector out to see if the ship is seaworthy, which it is, but we can't move it because it doesn't have a flag. And our request to the government of Malta to flag the ship, as they have done other ships, to include two ships that carry merchandise and war implements to Israel. So the government of Malta is up to its eyeballs in this, and yet they just keep pushing it back on us, saying we are the ones that are in the wrong when they are in the wrong with the complicity of the genocide of Gaza.
Now, you mentioned also Greece and Italy in the complicity. Could you elaborate?
Well, we don't know for sure exactly what it is, but there are traces through emails that the Greek government has been in contact with virtually all the countries around the Mediterranean, telling them they should not participate or they should not allow this ship to come near their waters. We know Greece since 2011 has been on the payroll of Israel. In 2011, Israel paid Greece an enormous amount of money to stop 10 ships that were going to be sailing from Greek waters to challenge the Israeli blockade of Gaza. So we know that they are complicit in it. We don't know the full details. We're still trying to get all of them, but the fingerprints of Israel are all over this.
Yes, and also what people should be reminded of, there was also this attempt for the Freedom Flotilla to board from Istanbul, if I'm not mistaken, a while ago. What went wrong there?
Well, in almost a year ago at this time, we had over 150 participants from many, many countries that came to Istanbul, and there were three ships that were going to sail toward Gaza. One large cargo ship with over 5,000 tons of cargo on it, one large passenger ferry boat called the Akdeniz, and then the smaller ship, the Conscience, that could carry 150. The Turkish government, the night before we were boarding these 150 people, suddenly said, "We will not let these ships leave Turkish waters. They will not leave the port of Istanbul," and they were held there for months and months and months. Finally, the cargo ship was allowed to leave, and it went to Al Arish in Egypt and offloaded its 5,000 tons of humanitarian assistance that went onto the trucks that are lined up. Over almost 2,000 trucks are lined up waiting to go into Gaza. But the Israeli government won't let them in. For 3 months, they have starved the people of Gaza. The Akdeniz was also used later as a cargo ship, and then the Conscience was only released 3 months ago, and then it sailed to Tunisia, and then it was coming up to pick us up to go on the mission to bring the citizens' outrage of the world of what's going on with the genocide in Gaza.
Now, knowing you yourself and the determination of the people who are active in this Freedom Flotilla, as far as you can tell out in the open, what are the plans for the future?
Well, we intend to sail more ships. We're not about to let the fact that Israel has bombed one of our ships, the fact that they killed 10 people, 50 and 50, winded 50, 15 years ago. What this shows is that Israel is willing to do to internationals what it has been doing to Palestinians for decades. It shows that it is a violent terrorist state And this is a way that we can show how brazen they are and how complicit our countries are in not stopping them. It is horrible that the United States continues to send weapons to Israel to kill more Palestinians. The German government does it. The British government, not quite so much. But countries are willingly being part of this genocide. And as an American citizen, I feel it is my role to challenge my own government in its complicity.
Yes, and absolutely. Your message is for us as Europeans that there are not only one, but three countries involved in this horrible attack. One can only imagine what the world would have been, or the media would have said, if a ship was bombed by China or the Soviet, or sorry, or Russia. I mean, it would all be all over the news because actually, this is not just an attack, this is an attack in international waters. You mentioned, of course, the European context, but it's in international waters, which is actually a war crime in itself. And the fact that it's just, I mean, it was on our news here in the Belgian media once in the evening news, and in the late news, it was not even an item anymore. That's how we treat, our media treat it. But thanks to people like you, the fight keeps going on. We will keep reporting on it. Is there any final message you have for our viewers in Belgium and in other Europe?
Well, yes, we will be having the No to NATO events in June. And with NATO being right there in Belgium, we would encourage all the people of Belgium to come out and support the No to NATO, which will be held actually in The Hague and the Netherlands this time. But there will be a peace conference after the No to NATO that will be held in Brussels. So we would encourage people in Brussels and all of Belgium to attend those events.
Thank you for that appeal. We will end our conversation, but we will keep staying in touch. We were talking to Ann Wright, peace activist from the US, who is part of the Freedom Flotilla. Thank you very much, Ann. And also thank you to all our followers. Do not forget, we bring you this news for free, but your support is always welcome. Thank you very much.